Well, hello there. I am here today to share with you a lesson, my most recent one. A literal problem I had was met with a solution. I have a feeling you are going to really like this story, so please stay tuned and even tell me what you think. So, I am pretty sure you are familiar with the term plastic surgery because it is popular, to see and hear about, especially in Hollywood, right? But I want to briefly share with you insight to the different shades of it, similar to like a need versus a want, right? So, myself, well into recovery from very invasive and extensive spinal surgeries, not elective, but necessary for the damage to my spinal cord, and thankfully all fully covered by insurance. Um, a couple of months ago, I went and again to see my neurosurgeon for a follow-up. I was excited to share, how well I came back from the dead like Lazarus. It took account of 5 surgeries on my spine for total reconstruction, front and back, and then my ankle. After 2 years, I went from being completely bedridden and barely able to get around unassisted to never using the wheelchair or walker they gave me, and now walking at least a mile a day. I told him about the app I was using on my phone, counting my steps and giving me goals to smash. And hey, since then, I have also lost 30 pounds. Yet, even still smiling, I told him about the heaviness I was having in my chest. I was experiencing, don't get me wrong. I said I love the abilities and don't want to stop. My doctor said I am so impressed with the work that you have done overall and know exactly even what you're talking about. He says, I want you to consider breast reduction. I will put in a referral for you so that we even get your insurance to cover it too. He went on to tell me how many of his patients he has spoke to after, them having and seeing significant improvement overall. I had a couple of weeks, between then to weigh in on this, trying to decide, do I want to do this? Is it safe? What about complications? My mind did, some racing because of the headlines I have seen of procedures, right, going wrong. You mostly also see in Hollywood too. So, most recent even hit hard because it was a girl that was on social media, building her brand and growing her channel. I watched her, and some of what she did and who she was inspired me. Her name was Jacqueline Smith. She goes by Jackie O, girlfriend to Wilding Out DC Young Fly. And their family of 3 very young children together, too. She was fixed on pleasing him and the public. So she flew to Florida to have what she called a mommy makeover or a BBL. This was not her first procedure, already having a breast augmentation and admitted drug use. Same goes for Cardi B. But according to the autopsy, there were no complications during her gluteal procedure, is actually what its definition is. But that day before, May 30th, 2023, there was said to be no complications. She had liposuction to transfer fat, though, to her buttocks. After the procedure, she complained of a headache that would continue to hurt and begin to burn, she would say, which prompted a call to 911 as she then began to struggle to speak. But she was unresponsive before they arrived. So the autopsy revealed that she had swelling in her brain and bleeding of the skin around her torso. That is, was also due to a potent mixture, said, of medications, whatever that means. And she was just 32 years old when she died. Her children, Nova is 6, Nyla is 2 then, and Prince just 10 months old even. Then you got Joan Rivers. Granted, she was, 81 years old during this procedure on September 4th, 2014, also known for both drug use and multiple plastic surgery. This was a procedure she underwent while she was sedated with propofol before she, died of low blood oxygen during the series of steps to examine her condition. They were improving. I do not want to take away from these women or what they did, but I did my homework because I wanted to know the risks and how often, a botched procedure occurred. I began to see the deaths that occurred both during or just after, and the greater risk factors, both addicted to plastic surgery and, always stuck in this like dying to be skinny fad, what we talked about previously, right? Or wanting to look perfect, in the public eye, assuming that that's what the audience wants, right? Also, Lisa Marie Presley, the only child of rock and roll legend Elvis, died of a bowel obstruction January 12th, 2023. Said by LA medical examiner, the obstruction was a result of adhesions caused by weight loss surgery she underwent. I have seen too many people, all that I even loved, struggle with addiction and die tragically from this epidemic. It is, time for us to say goodbye to shame and addiction, though. We have to stop blaming and judging ourselves and the people around us. That starts with sharing our stories. So I choose to share mine, but only after I made it. I asked God, then I reflected on the risks, but also the reasons why, making sure I was only doing this for myself and no one else. I can only urge others, to do the same. So I did it. I agreed to have the procedure. I did my best to follow guidelines with the whole process. I, don't use drugs and take the medication with the intent that I take it when I need it because I need it to work when I take it, right? So I even had a lot of complications I could not foresee, or prevent. I think age has some play into it, but I am told when my appendix burst and needed to be removed suddenly, that can happen at any age, and there was no connection. So I went in, stayed in the hospital then for that, and came out the hospital with yet another surgery back to back. Just after, though, my breast reduction, I had a lot of issues, with healing and overall wound care too. Then went back into the hospital for a bowel obstruction myself. That was awful. And I think that has some to do with not knowing diet after appendix removal. You shouldn't be eating raw fruit and veggies until you're completely healed. But after all that, I pulled through, and I must say, I was told the only surgery, even with instant gratification. It's true because you don't realize the weight and the pain of a heavy chest it brings, till it's removed. Now that it's so true. I took the weight, it took the weight off my back. The back pain was removed too. I no longer feel the pull or the strain, in my face or my neck, my shoulders, etc. I love my kids. You guys know that. But with each baby and pregnancy and nursing, my breasts grew to double and then triple. And then, you get the point over the years. Now that it is removed, though, I don't feel the heaviness. I also stand up straight, no longer hunched over. I can still have babies and even breastfeed still, too. I have more range of motion as well. I appreciate that I am as healthy as can be and can continue to do the things I love most. So, I encourage others who may also benefit the same way, right? Or your family members too, right? Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. Hope this helps, okay? See you soon. Bye.